Hey, how are you? So I wanted to answer a couple of questions from last week's video, and then we're going to go check out the bees. I just finished making a small hive beetle trap, and I'll tell you what that's all about. But right away, one of the main questions on last week's video is I was gluing paper to a braced panel, and I knew I was going to get this question, which is why use wood glue over an archival glue of some kind? And my feeling is the paper is so heavy, plus it's primed on both sides, that I really feel like it's fine. And I have used kind of a more expensive archival glue in the past, and I had a delamination problem. And sometimes I think you just got to stick with what you know. Now, as far as getting all crazy about archival, yes, you have to think about things being archival when you're making things, but at the same time, when you look at paintings by Jackson Pollock, who was painting with enamel house paint on raw canvas, or even Willem de Kooning, who was painting with oil paint on newspaper, sometimes I think people can take archival to maybe too far of a level. That's just me. Another question I had was about the clay that I was painting on the frames. And I'm going to get into that more because I don't know the name of that clay. I'm using this clay that was given to me by a friend. It's in a mason jar. It doesn't have a label on it, and I haven't had to buy any, so therefore I don't know what it's called, but I'll find out because I'm running low on it and I'll need some time in the future. Right now it's Monday. I'm not sure. I've got a lot of little things going on. I've got my kid. I'm getting ready for college, which is a big step. Holy cow! It's one of those things that comes. It's like all of a sudden here. You know, it seems so far away. Next thing you know, you're getting ready for it. So I don't know. I might box out my fan or put a cabinet around the fan, and I've got a lot of little work things that I got to tie up. So I guess that's it. I'm going to go ahead and I guess before I throw this in the hive, I'll tell you what it is. Small hive beetles are just one of the scourges of beekeeping. They get in and they nest in the comb, and their larvae, it just seems to reproduce really fast if it goes unchecked. And if you've got a strong hive, generally the bees can keep the small hive beetles at bay. They just kind of push them away all the time. And so what this is I'll put this in the hive, and this is just a container for tape. It's got oil, olive oil in the bottom of it, and the bees, in theory, will push the hive beetles around the top of it, and the hive beetles will try to escape, fall in the hole, and drown. So I'm going to go put this in the hive, and maybe I'll check it out tomorrow morning, and we'll see if we got any of the hive beetles. I just killed a small hive beetle. There was one right here. These zip ties are holding the comb in place. One of the combs broke off the bar, and I was able to attach it with zip ties, and it's pretty much repaired right now, so maybe tomorrow I'll cut these and take the zip ties off. Okay, well, it's not tomorrow. It's just a couple hours later, maybe 8 hours later. But I want to check on the hive beetle trap now because I'm not going to get a chance tomorrow. And I also want to cut the zip ties off of that bar and see if I can get that bar to sit straight again. These are the zip ties I want to cut off. I use them to attach the comb back to the bar, but you can see that you can't really close the hive up, and the bees are building propolis in between the bars, and that's just kind of a mess. So it's better to take care of that now. This is the hive trap. A lot of bees are in the hive. Not the hive trap, the oh yeah, looks like, well, I'll open it up. I don't want any bees to go in there though. I just saw a hive beetle fly away. And you can see there's 4 hive beetles in there and they're dead. There's one stuck to the, there's another one. And they just drowned in the olive oil. This bar is really stuck to this bar here, and that's because of the propolis. They've got new comb on this bar. They're drawing new comb on the bar. Here's a hive beetle on the bar, you see? I'm hoping I don't have a real bad, there's 2 hive beetles. I really hope I don't have a big problem with them. Okay. I'm going to change the camera angle. Well, I'll hold it right here. But they've reattached the comb, so I'm going to try to carefully remove these zip ties and just pull them back out through the comb. This comb had fallen off the bar and there was a decent amount of brood in the comb, so I didn't want to just throw it away. So now I'm going to try to pull the zip tie back through. I could just cut the zip tie too. It doesn't have to come through the hive or come through the comb. So that's what I'm doing. I'm leaving just about an inch of zip tie in the comb, because if I pull the zip tie, it's pulling the comb and I don't want to break it off again. Now you can see how sticky the propolis is. The bees will fill any space smaller than 3/8 of an inch, I think, with propolis. And basically I think they're trying to seal up the hive to do things like keep the hive beetles out. So if I can, after I finish cutting these straps, I'll clean the propolis off the bar and try to get it up tight against the next bar. Okay, so that's the last strap, and the bar is still, or the comb is still on the bar. This is the comb that was attached with the zip ties, and like I said, the zip ties are still in there, but the comb is holding itself now up against the bar. More of these hive beetles are horrible. I'm really hoping that hive beetle trap works. So now I should be able to get the comb nice and tight against the next bar, and that will be good for keeping the hive beetles out and just overall better for the hive. Well, this is one of those years where I'm learning everything. It's those kind of lessons that you don't forget, from the bees swarming to now dealing with all these hive beetles, which may not be that much of a problem, but I didn't see that many hive beetles in my hive last year. So hopefully this hive beetle trap will work, and I'll probably do a little research on the net tonight and see if I can make one that's a little bit better, and hopefully I can get rid of them. And we'll see, maybe the bees will make it through the winter and they'll be strong next year. I'm not going to give up on the bees. I'm going to buy at least two more packages of bees next year, and hopefully have a Lang straw hive going. And I'm hoping to pass the bee project on to my 2 sons, Walter and Michael, because they've expressed an interest and I don't have as much time as I'd like to. And I also think it'd be just good for them to, it might help them in school or something, because that's the next, I got those 2 coming up real soon. So my oldest boy, Jack's, going to school in a couple of days, and then the other guys will be graduating within 2 and 3 years. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you on Friday. I am planning on getting this fan box done, so that is looking what will be the project. I guess that makes sense. Okay, I'll see you then.